One of the trends I'm investing heavily into this crypto season is Bitcoin Ordinal and everything BRC20 related. It's an extremely popular sector, with one of the most well-known and popular coins being Ordi. But if you don't know what this is all about, make sure you watch this video, and I'm, of course, giving you guys my top 5 BRC Ordinal cryptos that I'm looking into for the next run. And I'm telling you right now, I believe every single one of these will still do a 10x multiplier. I honestly am quite convinced some of them will do 100x, meaning if I put $100 in, get $110,000 out. But as you watch this video, you'll start to understand why, and if you haven't done it yet, make sure you press that like button. So before heading over into my top 5, I want to quickly explain what this really is and why it's so exciting. As you guys all know, any crypto alt season starts with a Bitcoin run, meaning that Bitcoin builds of momentum that then flows over into all these different sorts of coins. However, this time around, I'd say a lot of the Bitcoin power is being fueled by these spot Bitcoin ETFs from the likes of BlackRock, Fidelity, etc. And so instead of altcoins, there's more of a spotlight onto Bitcoin. And for some reason, this year, Ordinals NFTs on Bitcoin, basically, and just inscriptions as a concept, we'll talk about that more in a second, have started to gain a lot of attention, and it's not a new concept. But they always thought it was very inefficient and would slow the blockchain down. But this year, all of a sudden, those narratives have shifted, and as it reads, BRC20 is an experimental, fungible token standard using ordinal inscriptions on Bitcoin. So what is an ordinal? Ordinals enable data to be inscribed into individual Satoshi. And if you do not know, one Bitcoin can be split up into 100 million Satoshi. The smallest unit of a Bitcoin is called 1 Satoshi, which again is 1/100 millionth of a Bitcoin. So they use a logical ordering system called ordinal theory to give each individual Satoshi a unique number, and then arbitrary data can be inscribed into each individual Satoshi, and this data that's, inserted into it basically can be an image, a video, and even entire apps, such as a simplified version of the game, Doom. And as we'll see below, BRC20 tokens are essentially ordinal inscriptions with a specific type of text embedded into them. Here's an example of that: P being protocol, BRC20 OP being operation. In this case, you're being deploy, tick is that little 4-letter combination that you put the $sign in front of, for example, BTC, even though the full name is Bitcoin. And the same thing for this one, maximum supply and the mint limit that you're allowed to inscribe at anyway. There are some advantages and there are some definite disadvantages, but I'd say that's a topic for a different video. Let's just start talking about some of my top coins, huh? And so straight of the bat, I've got to tell you, Ori is my #1 favorite coin. And that's not because I think they've got the most gain potential. It's because I'm pretty certain that this coin will almost certainly still do, I'm going to say 100x over the next few years. I've got a good amount of money riding on this. And every single time I talk about it, the next time I look, it's up another 20%. If you didn't know, we covered it in our video yesterday, and it's up 20% since we talked about it. Also, fun fact, the price was just a few dollars only a month and a half ago, and it surged. Because obviously Bitcoin went for a surge, but as Bitcoin also is probably going to triple over the next couple of years, if not more, I think Ordinal is going to, Ordi is going to significantly outperform Bitcoin, and it's pretty high in market cap, $1 billion and a bit. But I believe it's going to significantly increase its percentage of market share, where I would not be too surprised if this is a $2 billion market cap before the end of next year. So even though it's already huge, it's still relatively small for being the biggest of its sort, another coin we talked about just yesterday. And again, these coins I've mentioned many times on my channel. So if you want to see these coins before they pump well, make sure you just watch every video, because these coins, they pump all the time. It's the difficult part, but also the good part again. This one is right now sitting at $113, up 26%. Today, which is not too nice, $1.6 billion worth of market cap. And I would consider this the layer 2 of Bitcoin. Now, as I stated with Ordi as well, it's just relatively small for being the biggest in its sector. And so from that perspective, this you could not exactly compare to Ethereum, but I'd say more so along the lines of something like Polygon, which in this case here is about 7 times as large as Stacks. I know they're not the same and can't fully be treated the same. I'm just giving a comparison for where they could. But relatively, Bitcoin obviously is 4 times as big as Ethereum, yet this is 17th of the capacity of something like MXA's Polygon. I'm just saying, from that perspective, there's so much room to grow. And the reason I'm naming the two safest options at the start is because I'm so extremely excited about this entire sector that it'd be a waste to only tell you guys about high-risk options, where even if you go for the safest of safest plays, I still think you do very well now. Here comes the kicker at the start of the video. I said 5 coins, and the thing is, I can actually name a good couple of ordinal things, BRC20 things that would do extremely well because every single one of these right here are pioneers. They're early. I've talked about them many times in today. You know, Bitcoin is pumping. You can just see the massive amount of gains along the entire sector, and the thing is just so new. It's so up and coming that right. Now, if you get into it, it's extremely hard to lose money. If you bought Ordi or some of these sats or some multi-bit, I don't think you could have lost money over the recent past. And so easily, as a number 3 and 4, I could put sats and multi-bit there, because they're just so relatively huge. And similarly with rats, this is so popular that as long as Bitcoin continues with the gains, every single one of these will do well. And so this is not my traditional top 5 because even here, I personally don't think it matters too much what this protocol or project claims to do. Now, this one particularly has an interesting concept. Multibit is the first ever dual-sided bridge designed for easy cross-network between BRC20, so basically things on Bitcoin and ERC20 tokens, helping out with some cross-chain interoperability. Good concept, yeah, pretty juicy. I wish I knew about it sooner. And I'd say that you buy Multibit for slightly different reasons than more of these meme-related projects. But the honest answer, and I like to always give the honest answer, is that most of the biggest protocols and projects have not been launched yet. And so for those, it sounds annoying, but you're going to have to subscribe, because we're going to see them as time moves on. This space is still so small. You can see just today. You can't perfectly see it's up 23% just today. And these numbers are still just baby numbers to where it's about to head over the next year or so. It's going to absolutely grow, but many of the big players have not really dibbled their toes into it just quite yet. But over the next few months, it'll be coming. I'm telling you right now. So even if you don't want to buy anything, observe and research, look into what exactly the value proposition is with this sector and do not sleep on it. Because one of these days, a massive levered project is going to hop on and you're going to want to buy in early or as soon as possible because it's just going to keep gaining. I think if some people come together right now and really push hard, they can become the number 1 or maybe perhaps slightly behind but I'm even guessing right now, they can become the number 1 in the matter of, the first day and really take over significant amounts of market cap leading to 100 odd or 1,000 or whatever X for the people that bought in early. And so my latest advice is just not financial advice, but have fun with it. Just research it all. And I'll note again that many of the projects they will launch are not going to change the world, and they don't claim to, but at the end of the day, they will make you money. And that's pretty important too. Yeah, that's about it for this crypto update on my next sector that I think is going to pop off. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you press that like button, and hopefully I'll see you guys back again for another crypto video later today.